Welcome to the Bud Show. I'm Tony Vaughn, brand director for Backwoods Cigars, and happy to be here, man.
Boy, old Millie, you already know what it is. We tapping in with the Bud Show right now.
Welcome to the Bud Show, little nigga.
Tuning in to the Bud Show.
Welcome to the Bud Show.
And also, we're on the Bud Show. Okay.
What's up, big dog?
What up, man?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Hey, can't complain, man. Life is good.
Facts.
Yeah.
Already. So, how I like to do it, I like to get straight into it. Like, for people who may not be meeting you for the first time, how do you introduce yourself? Not just your title, but who Antonio is as a person.
Yeah. Look, man, always gonna introduce myself with what I do, man. I'm a brand curator, man. I want to make sure that you see culture in its authentic self, man.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to bring to the table, and I always try to make sure that when people leave a conversation with me, they feel like, oh, he know what he talking about. He brought some substance to the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the main thing with me, is that I come off as confident and I come off as competent, and that you believe in what I'm saying, man. And you may agree with it, you may disagree with it, but you believe that he believe in what he talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts.
Yeah.
So pretty much is meaning behind every word that you say.
Oh yeah,
already.
for sure.
So like, as when you said that, what you said, brand ambassador,
Brand director.
My bad. Brand director. Like, what does that responsibility mean to you personally?
I mean, that means that I'm directing the brand, and what that means is that everything and how the brand shows up, from the products, to the marketing, to who we work with, who we partner with, starts with me, man. And I get to influence that and direct that and make sure that the brand shows up in a certain way, and that obviously that we're doing what we need to do in order to do well by the business, but also provide a product that our consumers want.
Facts. So I heard pretty much about that. Tell me about Lil Vaughn. So where are you from? Where you grew up?
Yep. Look, man, I'm from most people, because they don't know where we from. I typically say I'm from Richmond. But I grew up, about 30 minutes south of Richmond, little small town called Prince George.
Facts.
Come from a place big family. We call it Lump Town, because my grandma Lump she was the matriarch of the family. A lot of kids, a lot of cousins, a lot of friends. We do big cookouts. That's where I'm from, man. That traditional traditional Southern black family, man. That's where I'm from. My little offshoot of that is, man, I'm an only child. My mom and dad been together, over 40 years now. I've been married, man. So I was the only child. I'm the oldest grandchild. So you can imagine what comes with that, man. You been spoiled.
You the oldest grandchild?
I'm the oldest grandchild. Yeah.
Wow.
So that. And I ain't afraid to say it. That comes with being spoiled, man. You know what I mean? But the expectations are always high, man. So come from from Prince George, right? Right outside of Petersburg. I started off in Petersburg, started school there, and then we moved to Prince George. And my aspiration, man, that I was gonna be a baseball player, man. Baseball was in our family. My dad played. My dad coached, and it's always what I wanted to do. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be a professional baseball player. That's what I kind of grew up being, man.
And it's crazy that you said that, because I do want to ask a question, because I did see something.
Mm-hmm.
So does HEA ring a bell to you?
HEA. Here.
Basketball?
No.
No. You ain't never, if I recall, played basketball for, what was it? Cause I happened to seen a picture of it. What was it? HEA. But so you never played basketball?
I played basketball. Basketball is my second sport. I played basketball and baseball all through high school, all through school, man. So,
okay. Cause I happened to see it was a what was it, like a burgundy jersey.
That was like rec ball, man. So,
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, but hey, man. As much as I love baseball, I was good at basketball. Like it was my second sport, but I was good at it. You know what I mean? I was a tough out if we was on the court together. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you talk about baseball was kind of in your family.
Yeah.
Like, who was one of the first people or first person that you saw that kind of led you to playing the sport?
Yeah, I mean, look, my dad had me at the baseball field from the time I was, I remember going to baseball field when I was 3, 4 years old. I mean, our family, baseball was it. We got big country chicken league, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
DC Giants, my dad from Dinwiddie, my mom from Prince George, so we had the DC Giants versus the Blue Sox. All my mom's side of the family cheering for the Blue Sox. I'm playing for the Giants. My dad, the coach. So I was just always at the baseball field, man. And so my dad that was him. And then my dad had his best friend, Curtis Wilkinson, who played in the major league. So I had somebody that was, like my uncle that played in the major leagues, man. So if he could do it, my dad was real good. It was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Baseball is it. I just knew that I was gonna be a pro baseball player.
Yeah.
That was always my mindset as I was playing and coming up, man. So that's why baseball was it, man. Baseball was it.
So what kind of deviated you away from that path?
I mean, as you get older, you see the competitive nature of the game, and I think it can't happen to me once I got to college. I say even before I got to college, as I got in the latter years of high school, I knew I was good, but I also saw the competitive set that was in front of me, and it was like these guys are better, and you just know you start to see what your ceiling is, and it's like, all right, I'll use baseball to get me to where I need to go from an education standpoint. It's a way to get into school, right? But I knew once I got to college and kind of my first day at practice at college, I was like, it ain't in the cards for me.
Hold on.
Yeah, it ain't in the cards for me.
So how was the first how the first practice go?
I mean, you meet the guys, man, and you just see like they bigger, they stronger, they just better. And as much work ethic as you think you had, it's like there's natural talent, and it's a step above that in those guys.
It's crazy that you said that. It's crazy that you said that. I don't know if the stars aligned for you to say that, but I had an interview with another guy, and I was telling him, what do you think is better, or do you think building something brick by brick can compete with talent? Like, so saying, say for instance, Chris Brown, natural born talent,
right?
Sing, dance, all of it. Do you think somebody that don't know how to sing, don't know how to dance, don't know how to do none of the stuff that singers do, can build themselves up to the point where they meet with true talent?
I mean, it's possible, but the likelihood to me is that there is a natural ability that takes over at some point that's gonna push you over the edge.
Yeah.
That it just is, man. I always say that it's certain attributes in life, man. Like it's like swag.
Yeah.
Like either you got it or you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that natural ability is part of that, man. So you just see that and be like, I know what my ceiling is, man. Now that ain't to say that I ain't gonna work hard. You know what I mean? Because I'm always one that if I'm gonna do something, I want to be the best at it. You know what I mean? And that's how you go into. You should never go into something and be like, I'm fine being middle of the road. No, you want to be the best. But once you see who the best is, then you can either say I'm gonna continue to push, or hey, I know what my limitations are, and I'm gonna go on and try something else and try to learn from what I did from this and carry that over into the next challenge that I'm trying to take on.
Facts. So pretty much in a simple saying, hard work can or sometimes be able to produce the same amount of effort as talent, but at the end of the day, some people got it and some people don't.
It's called talent for a reason, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You either got it or you don't, man.
Yeah.
And hard work definitely gonna help you, right? But the separation is those people that kind of have those traits, man, that you can't teach, that you can't learn. You just got it. You know what I mean? That kind of pushes people over the edge and kind of separates them from everybody else, man.
And when you said that you kind of use what you had to help elevate it, you in a different environment. Like, so what did you use baseball for? Like, you say you use it for to go to college. What did you major in, or what?
Yeah, so I always loved marketing, man. I
Yeah.
took my first marketing class in ninth grade, and just fell in love with it. And just loved the kind of the ability to be able to take an idea and turn that into something, man. To be able to present that to people and say, hey, here's why you should buy my product. Here's why my service is better for you. And spin it in a way that makes it appealing to you. You know what I mean? That was always exciting to me. So the part that comes from sports, man, is just I think it's the competitive nature of it. I always want to be the best at stuff, man.
Yeah.
When I'm on the baseball field, I want to have a little swagger to me, you know what I mean? And be able to put on the show for you a little bit. That when you leave the game, you're like, man, that center fielder, man, I like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing when I get into marketing, man. Like I said earlier, I always want to make sure that you leave a conversation with me feeling like you learned something, that you believed in what I'm saying, that you're confident that what I'm delivering to you was real. You know what I mean? And that's what I kind of took from baseball, man. It's just the ability to kind of be competitive and put the best product out there that I can, man. I'm always very confident in what I'm doing and what I'm presenting.
And if you can kind of tell me for like just one-on-one reasons, like what is marketing? Like, as far as the type of marketing that you do.
Yeah.
Because when you say marketing, this is what I'm thinking in my head. You know, the people that be in the office with the suits and ties, like, we got to come up with a jingle or a new slogan.
Hey, look, that's a little bit of it, but just think about the all the things that bring a product or a brand to you, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a commercial, whether it's the flavors, right? The type of flavor, the type of product. It's how the product is presented to you, man. It's like you don't always remember the product, but you may remember the commercial. You may remember the person that was partnering with that brand. You know what I mean? So when I say, as a brand director, it's the responsibility of all that stuff. How do you take all of that and put together a strategy, right, that involves what the product is, how the product shows up, where the product is, right, who the product partners with, what are the different channels that you see the product, where we're going to put the product, what type of stores. All that is kind of controlling everything that goes on with a brand, man. You're really kind of a general manager. You think about it from a sports standpoint, right, that you kind of managing all aspects of the product.
Okay. So, like I want to say in layman's term, or like in, a more simpler term for people that might not understand it, because them a lot of...
I say the very layman term, man, it really is, it's just everything that has to do with the product. Why do you like a product? It's my job as brand director to make sure I articulate the reasons why you would choose my product over another, right? Yeah.
So when you first got into it, say you fresh college, first year, you get into marketing. What was one of the hardest things that you had to grasp as coming fresh into that classroom?
Look, man, kind of backtracking a little bit. I started off, my first job out of college, man, I was teaching marketing. I went back to my high school. I was the DECA teacher. I was teaching, marketing class I was 22 years old, 23 years old, teaching high school kids, you know what I mean, about marketing. And so just teaching them the basics of back then it was the 4 P's. There's the product, is the placement of the product. It was like the distribution, the different places it was going to be. It was the price, how much you wanted to, how much you wanted to price the product. And then the 4th P was, what I say, product, place, price, promotion. How do you want to promote it? Like like you said, the commercials and stuff. How you want your product to show up on TV, on billboards and stuff like that. I was teaching that to kids. I was teaching them a regular marketing class, and I had a sports marketing class. So we kind of took that and spanned it into how do you show up in sports environments. How do you market sports? So I did that. And most rewarding part of my career, man, because again, I was a kid teaching kids, man. And I took a lot of pride in that because I had to make sure that they respected me, but they also felt that I was on their level and they could connect with me, man. I want the teacher that been here 30 years. I was in that same seat you was in 4 to 6 years ago, and I can relate to them, man. So I did that, and it kind of allowed me to kind of be able to navigate in a space where you look the same as the people. I look the same as a lot of the students, but I was able to garner respect. You know what I mean? And people were like, "Hey, he sets himself apart a little bit because this is a tough environment for him, but he stands out because he's able to present himself in a certain way." And I just carried that with me, man. No matter where I went, I may look young, but again, you're gonna respect me because what I'm bringing to the table is I'm gonna talk to you like I know what I'm talking about because I do know what I'm talking about. And I just always felt that like I had to really set the bar high for myself and look at what the people were doing, man, and seeing how I could put my own spin on it, man. And kind of did that. Got into I worked at got in at Capital One, man. The way that I got into Capital One, man, I started in the call center, dog. Customer service, answering people calls and stuff, man.
Cause that's crazy. Cause I did want to ask you, cause you nearly worked there for almost a decade, didn't you?
Yeah.
And how was the rise through the ranks in that job over that period?
Great question, man. Look, like I said, I started on the phone, and I can remember I got there and I said, it was probably a couple weeks in, man, and I went to my manager, kind of like our first check in, and I was like, "Look, man," I was like, "I got a marketing degree, dog. Like, I know what I want to do. It ain't answering phones for the rest of my career. I want to get into the brand department, man. I want to do that." And he told me straight up, man. He said, "I'm sorry, man. People don't make that jump from here. They don't. We hire kids out of college that go straight into marketing, to our brand department. They don't typically make the jump from the phone to to the brand department." And a lot of people would take that and say, would take that and be like, "Damn, well, I guess my tenure here is done, or this is what I'm gonna do." But it was a battery in my back because I was like, "All right, I'm gonna prove you wrong, man." And so I stayed on the phone for probably 8-9 months. I moved to QA. So now I'm QAing people on the phone, and luckily that got me into to the corporate side of the business, and I just started networking, man, meeting people, engaging with people, letting them know what I wanted to do. Bumped into one of my friends from high school, man, that it was in my DECA class with me.
Stop playing.
And saw her at lunch in the commons area, and she said, "What are you doing here? What are you doing?" I told her, I'm doing QA. But I got my marketing degree. You know what I can do there. And she said, "As soon as you get back to your desk, send me your resume. And I see what I can do, man." A shout out to Amy. Amy hooked me up because as soon as I got back to my desk, I hit her, sent that resume. Probably a couple weeks later, man, I was in front of one of the hiring managers in the brand department. They was looking for a marketing coordinator for email marketing at Capital One, and she gave me the job, man. Shout out to Whitney. I remember all that. Shout out to Whitney Parfit, man. Whitney hired me. It was a role they didn't even post it. They just said, "Hey, I'm looking for somebody. You want to do it? We'll just give it to you." And I got it, man. And that was my opportunity. Like once I got into the brand department, man. Again, just me being the person I want to be the best, man. I just absorbed everything I was learning. Capital One, really smart people there, huge company, and I just worked my way up, man. Started in email marketing, and I moved over to direct mail, doing that type of stuff. Then I moved into like customer management, where I was kind of managing the communications that we have with consumers as once they get a credit card, and what kind of notifications they received and all that stuff, man. And then from there, I kind of was building my network, particularly in the African American network at Capital One, man. Strong group of associates at Capital One that was like, "Hey, each one teach one, man. We're gonna build each other up." They had a lot of great programming there, and it just allowed me to really gain my confidence, man. So I was doing stuff on the side of my main job of like doing stuff with the African American Network, and there was a program that we had, man. It was called the Future Leaders Forum for Young Men, where we would actually bring inner city kids to Capital One for a all day workshop where they learn financial literacy, they learn about leadership, and kind of just give them a all day workshop to kind of just let them understand one.
That's tough.
It's a great corporate environment here. This is an opportunity for you to learn that, and this is possible that you see these black professionals here. This is possible for you right in your backyard. You from Richmond, you can do this, right? But then two, it also allowed me to showcase my leadership skills to executives, to managers, and so forth at Capital One, and say, "Damn, he doing this on the side. This ain't in his main job. He pulling this together." And I just built so much confidence, man, that my brand grew within Capital One, and now people vouching for me. And it's one of the things I tell everybody, man, that people are willing to invest in you when they see that you're investing in yourself. Fact. Like, I'll vouch for you when I know that you a hard worker, man. Yeah. But I ain't going to put my name out here for you when I see you ain't even putting forth your best effort, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Real.
So once people saw that, man, then I just started to gain my network, and one job led to another. And it's another thing I tell young people, man, that your next job is not gonna come from a posting, man. Yeah. It's not. It's gonna come from somebody knowing you and saying, "Look, man, I got this I'm working on. I'm building a strong team, and I want you." Yeah. And that's how every role I've gotten since then is pretty much happened, right? It's somebody that knew me reached out and said, "Hey, man, this coming up. I think you're a great candidate for it. I'm gonna put your name forward. They're gonna reach out to you, talk to them, let them know who you are, and see where it goes from there." And that's how the stuff has happened, man. It's been people reaching out to me. I haven't had to go out and look for a job. You know what I mean? The jobs have come to me, man, and it's based on my brain.
Facts. And once you got to that position when you say you had started doing the on the side for the African American youth, how deep into that job with Capital One? What, 4 or 5 years, or what?
Look, man, we started Future Leaders Forum. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Ira, man, Ira Holiday. We started that program, man. It was probably 30 kids, man. We bring 30 kids over there on a Saturday. They there all day. Over the course of the four or 5 years that I was a part of it, before I left Capital One, it went from 30 kids in Richmond to we had over 150 kids in 2 locations, man. We had one location we were doing one program in Northern Virginia at the headquarters, and we're doing one down here in Richmond. We went from this little small 30 cohort of 30 kids that, they left that day feeling good about themselves, and we gave them a little, they may get a little bag, get a t-shirt or whatever, to by the time that 5 years later, every kid left with a laptop, man. Because we were able to get funding from at the executive level to say, "Hey, we love what the program you guys are doing. We want to invest in it, man." So we, that again, I'm able to get it, a little junior level marketing manager, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm able to talk with the highest levels of the company, one step away from the CEO of Capital One, to say, "Hey, man, here's the program. Here's what we need of you. Here's the investment level we need. Can you support it?" And showcasing what we did. And they were like, "Hell yeah, we want to do it." And they supported it, man. So I went from the brand department to people saw me doing this community stuff and said, "Hey, do you want to do that full time?" So I took a little bit of a left turn, and I went into community affairs at Capital One, where I was responsible for building relationships with community organizations, with nonprofit organizations, and seeing how Capital One could invest in them, getting people to volunteer there, getting grants for them through Capital One, and it's still a way of marketing. It's showcasing how Capital One is giving back to the community, but it was very rewarding. It's kind of the perfect marriage of me being a teacher plus on that corporate side. So I did that, but then marketing came calling again. I had a marketing colleague that was once at Capital One, that was tight with a Capital One executive that had left Capital One and was building a marketing team at another company. And they came and said, "Hey, you interested?" And that's how I jumped from Capital One to another small marketing company, financial services marketing company, man, and did that for a couple years. And then eventually, a good friend that was already in the kind of tobacco field, said, "Hey, if you want to do that, they looking for somebody. I already told them about you, and they got my information, and that's how I kind of got into tobacco, man."
And as far as a person that's in tobacco, all right. So as far as cigars, right? How are you really supposed to smoke a cigar? Because I know people be like, "All right, you gotta." Because I'm not a cigar smoker, so I do want to know, like, what is the technique, or what is like, how are you supposed to do this?
I ain't gonna get too much into it because yeah. But you look, whatever your routine, whatever your ritual is up to you. You make it, work for whatever you do.
Yeah, so it's like a personal type.
Yeah.
Like you do it however shapes your feel.
Yeah.
Facts. And I want to kind of ask, like, as far as what was it, VSU? Your VCU.
Yes.
VCU, my bad.
All good.
Like, how has going to that school kind of shaped the person you are?
Good. Look, I mean, I tell anybody, man, VCU is a unique experience because unlike other colleges, we don't really have it's a bigger campus now, but when I was there, man, our campus was a city. You know what I mean? And you just in the city, man. You know what I mean? And it's very diverse, and you're gonna meet a lot of different people from all different walks of life, man. And it allows you to kind of be a chameleon, man.
Yeah.
You can be able to talk to different people, and engage with a lot of different people, man. And it's a dynamite business department. The marketing, the brand center at VCU is one of the best in the country, man. And so you just leave there, particularly in marketing. You leave there with a strong education, man, and you put it up against anybody. Like I know my shit when it comes to marketing, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So, cause I know pretty much when you was telling me, how you was 22, 23, and you was teaching kids in high school, like where did that marketing spark from? Like, was it when you were a kid, or when you were saying you was playing baseball and you was like, this might not be it, I'm gonna use it to kind of help benefit something else? Like, when did marketing kind of spark in you? Like, when did that?
It was I always I watched I'm an only child, man, and I watch a lot of TV. Always fascinated with commercials and stuff, man. All the different ways. So that was always something I was that excited me. But then in ninth grade, man, funny thing is, man, ninth grade, we had the DECA team. They had a fashion show. The fashion marketing class had a fashion show, and like all the cool kids was in that fashion show, and I was like, I want to take that class because that's all the cool people is, man. And so I took the class, and I just had a great teacher, man, that like just saw how much I enjoyed it, how hard I worked when it came to it, and she just fed that, man. Miss Flory just fed that. She got me involved in DECA. Said you're gonna run for president, you're gonna do all that stuff because I know you love this stuff, man. And that's how I was, man. I loved marketing, man. All that was my favorite class in school. Was marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm kind of asking you questions is because like I want to kind of go up like to your later years, and then I want to bring back to when you was younger. I like to kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say play around with it, but I just like to just hear a story from your past and then how it relates to your future. And I want to ask, like, places like, because I know you said Lumptown, places like Lumptown hold history. Like, what memory really stands out when you think about growing up around your friends and family?
Oh, man. I mean, if you take it back to Lumptown, man, it's just summers, man. Like, we had summers where it was 15 to 20 of us.
Yeah.
Just get dropped off down there doing the something. You know what I mean? And we just was there.
Yeah.
All us cousins, man, different ages, range from like some of us 11, some of us like 3, 4 years old.
Yeah.
But we all were there, and the difference now between kids, we was outside.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't be down there.
Yeah.
You can just sit in the house all day.
Nah.
Grandmas, y'all can go outside. So we just was outside, man. We played baseball. You know, we was all in the woods. We had clubhouses and stuff. We picking blackberries in the woods. You know, we playing hide and go seek. It just, man, it was nothing like it, man. And they just would let us be out there.
Yeah.
Nobody would say anything. You know, we would walk, we ride bikes and walk to the little elementary school that was down the street. Like, you know, that was a couple miles away, man. But we just walking. You got 4 or 5 year olds walking, bunch of us. Nobody said nothing, man. We all through the woods, man, and it was nothing like it, man, because we really became very close as cousins. We learned stuff. You learn how to, we fight and stuff, but we still was tight, man. And it was just nothing like growing up like that, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
I that is the biggest memory I have, man. That's we was cousins. You know what I mean? Like we was
yeah,
man.
Cause you know a term you don't even hear no more. I bet you don't even know it. It's an old term, earthy.
Yeah.
You remember that? You don't even hear that word no more. Why you smell earthy?
Yeah, because I've been outside all day. I was outside all day. I mean, we just outside all day. I remember they used to have a big cooler of water for us. Cause see, y'all don't need to come inside and back all that back and forth. Had the big cooler out there, and we drank our water. We drank from the water hose, man. But we was outside all day.
Yeah.
All day.
And it's crazy that you mentioned the blackberries and all that, cause man, I used to get scratched up thorn bushes in there, man.
Yeah.
So how important has it been for you to, stay connected to where you came from as your career grows?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, I know how much my family supported me coming up, man, and I just want to be like a beacon, man, to showcase to the family, man, that this is possible, man. That somebody that grew up from where we from, that came from where we from, can go out and do this type of stuff, man. That the world is much bigger than than the Tri-Cities, man.
Yeah.
Than Petersburg, Hopewell, and Colonial Heights, man. That the world is much broader than that, and that you can go out and do some pretty extraordinary things, man, and don't let that handcuff your thinking and thinking that, this is all that you can do, man.
Yeah.
I just try to serve as that beacon to them, man, and want them to see me as not like, he's the anomaly. No, this is what's possible, man. You just gotta go out and do it, and think that you can do it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And the reason I can vouch for that, I'm trying to stay in the character.
Yeah.
But you're bringing back memories.
Yeah.
And the fact that I believe what you're saying is because I used to stay down there with my grandma when I was young, and I used to see y'all. Cause sometimes grandma wouldn't let me go with y'all, cause y'all was way older. Yeah. But I used to see y'all, and then seeing where you at now, it, like what you're saying, it is possible. It really is possible. All you gotta do is put forth the effort. And like I don't want to switch the subject, but we still talking about family. I want to say, like, so as far as you being, son, you being, a husband, like, how has, you been able to balance family life with your work and as far as your dream, your own personal dream?
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Look, I've been this upcoming year, 2026, I'll be married 20 years, man.
Yeah.
I got married when I was young. You know what I mean? 24 years old, man. So, and we had our kids young, man. So, we have a 23-year-old, we have a 17-year-old, we have a 15-year-old. And I know how I was brought up, man, the support that I got, that I wanted to make sure that I always provided that type of support to my kids. So when it came to sports and stuff, I was always going to be there. I was coaching I coached little league for my son up until he was about 13.
Oh, for real?
Travel ball. Yeah, I was, I just couldn't stay away from it. Had to be a part of it. You know what I mean? But then when I got a job when I got into this role now where I traveled a bunch, it just wasn't possible. But if I'm here, I'm here, man. My kids have something, I'm gonna be there. I've always been a very hands-on parent when it came to stuff, and just expect that that's what parents do, man. And so it's you balance it, but you just I want to make sure that my kids don't look back and say, "Damn, my grandparents gave my dad all this, but look what he gave me." Nah, it's gonna be he gave me the same amount of support, if not more. Because that you hope that as every generation comes on, they feed more and more into their kids, man. So that's what I've tried to do. It is not easy, man. Particularly as the kids get older, and they think they know everything. They don't want to listen to you as much, man. But like I said, man, when I'm here, I'm here. My kids, coaches, and teachers and stuff, they gonna know me. I'm answering emails. I'm talking to the coaches. I'm vocal when you out there on the baseball field. You gonna hear me, So they not gonna be like, man, where Nick, where's Dad at? They know us. We are very involved when it comes to the kids and the activities that they're doing.
Man. And see, that's a real good thing, because a lot of people get misconceptions like it's dads out here that's doing their thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's going crazy. And as well as being, a father, you're a husband as well. Like, what's something marriage has taught you that no job or title could ever?
That's a hell of a question, man. What marriage has taught me, man.
Got about 20 years.
I mean, the biggest thing is, man, that you gotta be. It's gonna be ups and downs, man. And you just gotta work your way through it. And know that you here for each other, man. And that's the main thing, man. Nothing is gonna be perfect, man. It's how you fight through it and how you learn from all the mistakes that you make and keep moving forward, man. All that I do, man. Yes, I want, and I think about my career. I'm really big on my career now. But the reason I'm big on my career is because I know what it can afford me to do for my family, man.
Most definitely.
And so I'm trying to put my foot on the gas because I see what the future could look like if I continue to do what I'm doing, man. And that's not for stuff that I want for myself. It's the things that I want for my family, man. So that's the battery in my back is my family, man. What I'm able to afford from them, man. Because again, you take it back to being a kid, man. I know all the stuff that I had and all the support that I had, and I'm just trying to do even more for my kids, man, and showcase that like this is what normal is, man. This is the lifestyle that I should attain to. That I should set the bar here. I should never feel like the bar is here. I want my kids to think that, man. Like this is. I should expect to attain this level of success because I put in the effort, I put in the work, and my dad set the bar here, so this is what I should do. You know what I mean?
And that's completely understandable because when you think about it, you like say for instance, like if I can give like a father-daughter scenario. A father is a representation of what he wants his daughter to see in a man. If your daughter or my daughter go on a date and the dude ain't acting right, he ain't setting the bar that you set. Like daddy set the bar. Daddy loving, caring. Like I understand what you're saying. Like so when my dad gone and he set this bar, this standard. So when I come up and I have a son, I'ma set the bar even higher. And you wanna keep continually progress over generations. And I definitely understand that. So as a father, like watching your son play baseball for the first time, like what was that emotional feeling that you had?
Oh man, we got the great thing about life now, man. You capture everything, what I mean, with a phone. So like, he was like, I think Nick probably was like 10, 11 months, man. Just started standing up, man, and came. He got one of my boys, my best friends, gave him a t-ball set for his first Christmas, man.
Yeah.
And we set that tee up, man, and he could barely stand up, but he had that big bat, and he swung it, and he knew what he was doing, man.
Yeah.
And just to see like, and I believe some of this stuff is genetics, man. It's like it's in his blood. You know what I mean? Like he, and I always tell my wife, like, I ain't never try to push the sport on him and say you gotta play. It's just like, if you want to play, I'm gonna support it. And just to see him kind of take to it naturally as a little kid, he's 3-4 years old, man. He used to watch baseball on TV, like be fascinated with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just very rewarding to see him. Like we in butt heads, man, because I've been through, my dad been through, try to teach him stuff, and they get to an age where it's like they don't want to hear from you. They'd rather hear from somebody else. And that's why I stopped coaching because of that too, because I just wanted to be dad, not be coach too, right?
Yeah.
But just to see him kind of keep going with it, right? Like once I stopped being a coach and stopped, trying to push it and say, hey, from now on, like if you want to make this happen, you want to have a career, you got to do the stuff yourself. You got to put forth that for yourself, and he's done it, man. And that's what's rewarding to me. I just see that talent take over, but it's not just the talent; it's the hard work that he's putting in as well. And people seeing it, man. He was never the biggest kid. He was never the fastest kid, you know what I mean? But he was always putting in the work. He was always there, and he didn't care. He didn't care that he wasn't the biggest and fast. He was like, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna keep playing, and I know what I can do, man. And over the last couple of years in particular, man, he's just coming to his own and that confidence and people seeing it, man. And that's what you want to see. Is like, I ain't gotta tell people no more. They just see it. You know what I mean?
Facts. And I want to know, was he the one who wanted to get started in baseball, or did you kind of kind of feed him into it?
I mean, you gonna get him. I mean, my boy gave him the t-ball set when he's a little baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a glove. But it, as much as it naturally can happen, it did, man. Like he just, he picked up that bat and for the first time, and it was a thing. And like, look, man, I'm a proponent of like you keep kids active, man. So when he got of age, he was like, all right, we're gonna play. We put you in t-ball, and and if you like it, you like it. And he loved baseball, so once he started that, man, it was his thing, man.
And it pretty much went from there. And I know you do a lot of movement. I know it's hard for you to stay stationary. Like, you had some powerful cultural experiences. Like, what was it like being behind the scenes of the 85 South Show and getting to see Carlos Miller and all those different people?
Oh man, it's pretty cool, man. You know, I sometimes it's easy because I'm around it so much. It's easy to take it for granted.
Yeah.
But those people are human beings, man. We kind of hold people up to kind of think they, celebrities or whatever. But when you get to know those guys, man, they cool, they funny as hell. And they value me just as much as I value them. And that's the part that I'm, that it's been the toughest for me. Is that, sometimes you come in and you know who they are, but they be knowing me. You're like, oh, wow, man, nice to meet you. And I'm like, damn, why are you happy to meet me? I'm happy to meet you. You the celebrity here, right? But that's the part that I'm still coming to grips with, is like, there's a reason why I'm here, right? And my value is just as much as theirs. But I truly value them, man. The partners that I have are great people. They're good people, man, and that's why we partner with them. I always say that the partnerships that I try to build with the brands that I run, man, is that I'm trying to build with you, man. That we trying to grow together. It's not trying to be very transactional where, we just cut you a check and that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I want to see you grow. I want to feed into the stuff that you're trying to do. I want to make sure you're doing the right things, right? And that we growing together, man. And so that allows you to build with great people and build a deeper relationship with them, man. So that it's not just, that's the guy cutting the check for me. It's man, he cool as hell. You know what I mean? That type thing, man.
It's building that relationship, having that foundation. That we, at the same time, we do a job, but we're humans. It's cool to, and And was he? I know he was funny as
Oh man, Los is funny, man. So is what you see in front of camera is how he is off camera. Man. He's funny,
off
man.
the
Just
rip,
funny, man. You know what I mean?
And being in those spaces, did you see parallels between entertainment, culture, and brand building?
Yeah, I mean, we at the end of the day, man, for what I do, um, again, it's how do I make sure that I provide an authentic representation of culture, right?
Yeah.
That if we gonna do things, that it feels real, that it feels authentic, man. I'm a hip hop kid. You know, I grew up. You know, I came up in high school in the '90s, man. It's the heyday of hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I know that, and I want to make sure that as I curate this in a corporate environment, I'm like that in between that culture side and the corporate side, that I'm able to take, what we're trying to do from a business standpoint. If we're going to utilize culture, that I do it in the right way, and I do it in a real way, man, and that I'm speaking to it because I'm a product of it, man.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to look out and see something be like, oh man, that's some culture vulture stuff, man. Like they just trying to capitalize. No, it's real, it's authentic, it's partnership, and not transactional, man. That's what I'm trying to build, man. And so, going on LinkedIn, man, it's a culture curator, man. I'm trying to curate an experience, an environment where people feel like, oh, I see a representation of what I do every day from a culture standpoint, and it feels real, it feels authentic to me, because the person that's doing that, coming up with that strategy, is just like you, man.
So, and another thing I wanted to ask, as far as the culture wise, the fashion wise, why you be getting the drip from, man?
Hey man, always.
This I was about to make me cuss on this. It'd be crazy.
Hey man, look, that's always been me, man. I always, again, it goes back to a confidence thing, man. That I want to make sure that when you meet me, that you be like, man, he had this shit on. You know what I mean? And if nothing else, do you remember that? Like, oh yeah, that guy that had that on. But it again that's a representation of our culture, man. People, we show up. That's how we show our confidence, through the clothes that we have that we wear, man. And that's always gonna be me, man. I ain't gonna show up just in any kind of way, man. There's a level of swag that you should expect, and I want to make sure I give that. And that's before I did any of this.
Yeah,
you can go back and look at the pictures from when the little kid, and same thing.
Do my research, because I would just say it was one picture I seen you in, and if I recall, you might correct me on the color, but I believe it was like a burgundy and black, or like a purple. I know the handkerchief was black. You had the suit was all one color, but the shirt was a different color. I believe the shirt was black. I believe the suit was a purple color, but you was at an event. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's the name of the event, but the suit you had on was crazy. I had to show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to show you.
I got some burgundy and suits and stuff, man. But you
wear so many fits. You probably don't even remember, man. You wear a fit.
Hey man, I take that the inspiration for that, man. My pops always had a lot of suits, man.
Yeah.
My Uncle Wayne, man. My Uncle Wayne made sure that was my my uncles, man. He always made sure I had the fly stuff when I was coming up and growing up, man. So, like I said, man, I always had clothes, man. Always loved clothes, man. And now that I got, lifestyle where I can afford stuff and I engage with people in these brands, man, I'm gonna make sure that I show up in a certain way, man.
Most definitely. And as far as talking about showing up, you met one of the people that I respect. How was it when you came across, some of the legends like Method Man? Like, when I seen it, I said, dang, he done met. See, because Method Man, that's around your time.
Yeah.
But, like, I still mess with a lot of this stuff as far as acting and stuff like that. Like, what was that experience like?
I mean, it's amazing. It's again, when you're in the moment, it's like you just this is part of what I do, so you can't fanboy it out, right? But you step back, man, and you look, you like, man, like these are guys I was looking at on TV, like, you know what I mean? It's but again, man, very down to earth, very cool. They value me just as much as I value them. And they make it easy, man. It's never, at least from my perspective, at least the interaction I had with these celebrities, man, they never make you feel like they above you. You know what I mean? We're all on the same level. We cool. I can have a conversation with you. And I try not to make them uncomfortable either, man. I'm not the one that like let me get a picture. I don't want to do that all the time. I don't want to bother them like that, man. And I also want to make sure that it's a level playing field. That that we're here, we're partnering. It's not like I'm a fan of yours. You know what I mean? Even though I am, but at the same time,
like I'm here, but
exactly, man. But it's a perk of the job, man, to be able to engage with these legends, man. To meet the people that you grew up listening to, that you watch now, that they know you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, cause I know you had another encounter with what was it, Ghostface, and like you pretty much said that what you do pretty much kind of dictate the people that you meet in certain situations and environments. Like, I want to know, besides from work, this your personal time, you might took a vacation or did something like that. Who was the one person when you saw that person, you was like, wow, I'm really meeting this person for the first time. And this is in your own personal lane, your personal time.
I don't know, man. I mean, the most people I met have been through work.
Yeah.
But look, man, I ain't probably the I'm a baseball guy, so I got to meet Barry Bonds when I was like 10 years old.
Oh, for
he's
real?
he's my that's my idol. Now it wasn't the best interaction, but I met him. I saw him.
Hold on, I got it. Come on, man.
Yeah,
not Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, man. Yeah. So got to meet him when I was about 10 years old. My dad's best friend, like I said, Curtis, played for the Pirates. It was '92. When he played for the Pirates, and Barry was one of his teammates, man. So we went down to Atlanta to see the Pirates play the Braves, man, and we stayed at the same hotel. So I got to shake his hand when he walked past, man.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was crazy, especially at 10 years old, and plus you got a family of known baseball players.
Yeah.
And I seen that you had did a review, pretty much like a box opening for what was it Takal?
Takal.
For
Meth's his brand. Yeah.
So like, cause when I seen it, I liked it. It was smooth. Everything looked elegant. Everything looked like I couldn't even explain. It was like it was just to the T.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you received that gift, like was you expecting it to pretty much have what it had, a combination lock?
Yeah.
Like tell me how did that?
I mean, as we engage with these partnerships and stuff, you have a sense the stuff may come, but when it gets here, it's still like, and just like I cater, for our brand, I want to make sure that things look a certain way and feel a certain way, feel premium. They did the same, man. So when you receive that box, man, it was, they put a lot of care into it, man, a lot of intention behind how they wanted that to show up, man, and it's shout out to them, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was. From me personally, I smoked. So when I seen your review, I said, dang, that's dang. I'm looking off in the corner. I'm like, So like I want to kind of understand, like, what experiences do you have now that kind of remind you of how far you came?
I mean, look, man. Every big activation that we do, man. I often, I get to myself and I look back. You look over the crowd, and it makes you think, man. It's like, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here, man. Particularly when when you at somewhere like a Rolling Loud or a One Music Fest, when you look out and it's 30, 40,000 people, man, and it's just it makes you think, man. I'm blessed, man. I do not, I don't take it for granted. But I oftentimes think, man, like, I mean, my wife often says she'll say, you more of a celebrity than you think, and I was like, I'm not. I don't think of myself in that. I just do what I do. I love what I do. But you get into these spaces, man, and you just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, wow, you know what I mean?
Like, yo, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And like, what was like one of those times where like you kind of walked in the room and something about it kind of reminded you of home? Like it can be an event, it can be a time you just decide to dip off and go in the woods and you know.
Mhm. I think, man, these are good questions, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I had, what I often true back to, man, is that I have a lot of great partners, man. Um, the one of the agency, our agency that we deal with in out of Atlanta, man, Matrix Marketing, ran by my guy Ryan, man. Ryan is the reason that it kind of trues back to home, man, is that he's become like family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's like the big brother I never, I got big brother figures.
Yeah.
But in this business world, as I've grown, it can get very transactional with people. You know what I mean? And luckily, me and him just connected on a level, man, where it's very organic and it's very
Yeah.
real, man, and it feels like family. And so I the thing that kind of trues back to my family is that the relationship that I have with him, that it goes beyond just business, man. That it feels very much like family. Like they look out for me. They know my kids. I know their family. It's his nephews and stuff. I know them. It's just cool to kind of nurture that type of relationship and build that type of relationship with people, man. Because that's what I try to do. I don't want it to just be again transactional, man. I want to grow together. I want to build together. I want to be more than just the person that you're working with, man. I want to be I want to be a friend, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
means a lot to me, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And building those relationships, because at the end of the day, when you get to a certain position or a certain status, it's gonna be a very close knit circle that you have or that you wanna have. And when you have those people in your circle, even if it's one or two people, you do want to cherish those
Yeah,
moments.
definitely.
And I want to get back to the fashion.
Mm.
That's what cause it was another picture you had put up. What was that? The blueprint photo shoot.
Yeah. Shout out my dude Cam. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
cause you was
yeah, everybody know me, man. Know that Jay Z is
yeah
that's my that's my favorite rapper of all time. And then to see what he's done post rapping to become a businessman, like it's that
yeah
I look up to that, man. That is the epitome of where I want to go and what I want to do, man. And so the Blueprint is my favorite album. And so my dude Cam, man, Cam was like, I gotta do a shoot with you, dog. Like, how you want to do? I was like, man, I want to recreate some of the Jay Z joints, man.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can do. So I was in Miami for work. He happened to be in Miami. I said, let's do it. I'm gonna bring some fits and let's see what we can do, man. So he put it together, man. Shout out to him, young brother from Chicago, doing some great things, man. And again, that's just another example of like engaging with somebody on a business level, and then we become friends and we just do shit like this. You know what I mean? So shout out to Cam, man, for bringing that to life, bringing that vision to life, man.
Cause how many outfits did you originally bring?
I probably bought.
That sounds like a lot when you got.
I mean, I bring. Everybody know I overpack, man, because I like to have options, man.
Fact.
So I probably had like 6-7 fits that I bought, and then I kind of once I saw how much time we had and how many we could do, then I narrowed it down from there. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Cause I know as far as you being able to to express yourself, fashionably. Like, how important is visual storytelling when it comes to your brand identity? Not as far as your work, but as far as you.
I want you to leave being like he was
He
that
put
dude.
that-
Yeah. Like I said earlier, man. If nothing else, you may not remember me, but you might not remember my name. You like, oh, you the dude that had a jacket on, like that joint was tough. Or them sneakers, and everybody want to know that you think what you got on is good, but when you get that that acknowledgement from other people, like I get stopped all the time, like, hey man, that joint tough there. I like them sneaker, like that coat or whatever. Like that's just gratification to showcase that, hey, my style or my aesthetic, people like it. You know what I mean? So it's when I go out, man, I want you to feel like that's somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like when it comes to that, like what responsibilities do you feel when representing yourself that sits deeply within your urban culture?
Yeah. I wanted to feel real, man. I wanted to feel respected. Like our culture can look respectable and look good, have swag, and still be presentable to those outside of the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to bridge that gap between corporate and culture. Um, I have been afforded the opportunity to kind of have a career where I can show up in a hat. I can show up in a hoodie. And you can see me. I can dress up. I put on a suit when I need to, but I try to represent who we are as a culture. But do it in the right way, man. You're not gonna see me with my pants hanging down, this, that, and the other, man.
Yeah.
But you gonna see me, and it's gonna be a little swag to it, man. And that's the responsibility I have, is to be able to represent the culture in a way that says, hey, we can show up in the boardroom, we can show up at the club, we can show up anywhere and still look good, still be ourselves, still be authentic. That is what I try to represent, man. You know what I mean?
Because at the end of the day, you always want to look presentable.
Yes.
You always,
yes.
You don't know who you might run into.
Yeah.
And you run into somebody and you looking.
Yeah.
And this is a random question, but it's an important question. If you had a theme song to represent your walk, who would it be and why?
My theme song. So, it's funny you bring it up. So, my theme song. I got two songs that I love, man. I'm a music head, so I like a lot of stuff. But my walk up song when I was in college for baseball was "Share Share La Ghost" by Ghostface, because it had that verse. Tony's his name, like that in my head. Yeah, so I love that, man. I'm a whole fan, man. So the "Allure" is my favorite whole song. That's my favorite song. So that's one that's always top of mind for me. So those two probably big, man. Yeah.
So when you if you happen just in your own word happen to step in the event, Tony's
the undisputed champion. Whoa, yeah, that's me, man. Yeah.
And I don't want to hold you for too long, but
I'm enjoying it, man. It's good. It's fun, man.
Most definitely. For young black professionals watching this, what advice would you give them about finding their lane and staying confident?
Yeah. Look, I go back to what I said earlier, man. People are willing to invest in you when you invest in yourself, man. So go out and do the stuff. If you want to be great in this corporate world, man, get your certifications, man. Go and network with people. Build your network. Show up in places. Do the stuff that's beyond just the stuff that you're doing in front of your computer every day at work, man. The little stuff that you think that you selling out or what, it's not selling out. When they want you to go to that happy hour, when they want you to do the stuff for the team building stuff, man. Show up, do that stuff, man. That builds your brand. And showcases the people that you are invested in trying to grow and trying to build. Particularly if you're in corporate, it shows that you're trying to build with the company, man. If you think that you're going to grow and be successful in this world by clocking in at 9 and leaving at 5 and not engaging beyond that, it's not gonna happen, man. You gotta be willing to I hate to say play the game, man, but that's part of it, man. It is. And like I said, invest in yourself, invest in networking. Always know that you showing up in a certain way. I'm sorry, the world ain't perfect. That's how it is. Just know that when people see you in or out of work, it's a representation of you, man. So always hold yourself to a higher accord and a high standard, so that whenever somebody engages with you, that they leave that conversation, that they leave that engagement feeling like I respect them, I enjoyed the conversation, and I would vouch for that person, man. Um, um, and just stay at it, man. It is not easy. It is tough. Um, the corporate world is what have you done for me lately? And so you just gotta continuously set the bar high for yourself, and know that next year the bar will have to be even higher, man. But you keep pushing forward, and just keep at it, man, and really leverage your network, man. Build with people. People are you're not gonna get things done by yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna need people to vouch for you. And how you get people to vouch for you is the work ethic and the brand that you built for yourself. If you have those things, they gonna go to bat for you, man.
Yeah.
They gonna go to bat for you.
And the crazy thing is, and it's not even crazy, for anybody who's watching this last few minutes, you need to listen, because this free game.
Yeah.
This free game, because some of the stuff that you saying is some of the stuff that me personally I need to be doing. And you really not the first person that said it, but you said it in a different way. Because I had somebody else, and it was like promote, promote, promote. And now that you saying network, because I heard a lot, so it's something of importance when you
Yeah.
you repeat it. And now that you said that, all I heard is promote, promote, network, network. Go out there, spread yourself, and get people to know who you is.
And the key component of it, man, is in networking. Sometimes people think networking is just showing up everywhere, letting people know who you are. Be intentional about your networking, man. Be able to offer something to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it should be a two-way street, right? It's not you just trying to get something out of somebody else to get you to move up. It's how can I help them to help me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your skill set oftentimes can help them, man. So oftentimes it may be a simple thing. It's just like, hey, they need you to show up somewhere and look presentable. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm having an event. Want you to come out. Just show up and be somebody that they can be confident that can show up and look professional, and represent them in a way that showcases that they're good at picking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that networking piece is very important, man. Very important, man.
And like for another question I did want to ask you. For someone who's, I say, just getting into the same aspect you're getting into marketing, what are some of the key components that you believe they need to have before they go in? Like, cause I sat down and I talked to like a boxer. I sat and talked to this boxer guy, and he was saying when you get into it, you have to commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get into it, double out, into it, double out. Like, how would you be able to tell that person?
Couple things. One is, like I said earlier, man, it's not a 9 to 5 thing, man.
Yeah.
There's gonna be stuff you gotta take home with you. And it's part of accountability and ownership of stuff, man. Particularly in marketing, man, there's no clear cut answers. There's no this is the winning way to do it. It's going to be a process. It's going to be iterating on stuff. So you got to be willing to work through that and take ownership and finding the answers yourself.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell people is go to somebody with a possible solution. Don't just come to me with your problem. You know what I mean? When I come to you and say, I tried this, this didn't work. How can you help me from here? Don't go to them and say, hey, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because that means that you didn't take any accountability yourself to try to figure it out. Yeah. Like, I want to know that you tried something.
Yeah. No initiative.
Yeah, show initiative in trying to solve a problem, man. Don't be the person that just highlights a problem without coming with solutions. That's key, man. The second thing is, man, think in white spaces, man. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is think big and then tailor it down to to small bite-sized pieces that can be executable, but don't don't edit yourself to think bigger, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing now what I'm doing now because when I took the role 4 years ago, or a little less than 4 years ago, this is what I came in saying I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be my job. That's how you have to think, man. You gotta think beyond the next role. Be always thinking long term. What do you want to do? How do you want to get there? Nobody's journey is gonna be in a straight line. You're gonna have twists and turns, right? But ultimately, you want to know where you're trying to get, man. Being able to articulate that, because nobody gonna be able to tell you what you're gonna be.
Yeah.
You gotta tell people what you want to do. You know what I mean? And so have some semblance of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to get there, and then try to get people on board with trying to help you to do that.
Facts. So, and I appreciate having you up here, man. And you can tell the guys, tell the girls too, tell the people where they can find you at and how they can,
Yeah. Tony Vaughn, it's T-Vod, it's TVAUGH 21 on IG. My style profile is Hefe Style Tone.
Yeah.
It's linked through the other as well. Yeah, that's me, man. Appreciate the time today, dog. Love it. Love being able to talk about this stuff. I love that it wasn't about, it's not just the brand stuff. It's more about the journey and the hard work and the ethic that goes, the work ethic that goes into kind of getting here, man.
Cause man, you put in, especially from what you telling me right now, like you didn't did your thing, big dog. You didn't definitely. Yeah,
it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, man. But it came with hard work. A lot of people that help, my wife has been super supportive. 20 years is a long time and it's been a partnership. You know what I mean? And sacrifices throughout, man. Yeah, sacrifices throughout, man. But it's always been with the intention of getting us to a place where we can, do the things that we want to do, man. So yeah.
Most definitely, and I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.